Hey, what's up YouTube? How's it going for you guys? James Polk here. I just got up and all I can say for myself is that I'm still a little bit tired though, but I'll be fine though. But anyways, how's it going for you guys today? Upon deck testing throughout the past 3 weeks, when I had to try out something new for that matter, I decided to build this anti-meta deck that has to deal with locking down the opponent. So without further ado, let's get the deck profile started. For the monsters, we have 3 Vanity's Fiend. This card actually helps me win games because upon deck testing with Vanity's Fiend, it pretty much shuts down like 80% of the meta that has to deal with special summon. And upon deck testing, I tested the card out against Gladiator Beast, Gem Knights, Synchro Quasar variant players out there, and this card definitely helps me out a lot to win games. So yeah, 3 Vanities. Then 3 Majesty's Fiends. Its effects are pretty straightforward as well. Can't be special summoned, simple as that. But the main effect is monster effects are never activated. If you look at the context about Majesty's Fiend in the game right now, it basically shits 90% of the meta right now. And 1 Spell Canceller. It's somewhat of an okay card about the decent attack power and the level 5 star monster, but in my very first opinion about this card though, like against spellbooks or prophecies or like even magicians, that is their downside weakness against this card, Spell Canceller. But about Spell Canceller in general, it just basically means that nobody plays spell cards. And then we have V2 Jinzo, meaning nobody plays traps. Self-explanatory on that card. And in case you guys notice about the deck, I don't play the Monarch guys because the minute I tribute summon those guys, their effects will be forcefully activated, and then afterwards, opponent tries to chain something to stop those Monarch guys. So I personally decide rather not to play them at all. So the Jinzo for the traps, Spell Canceller to shut down spells, Majesty's Fiend for shutting down monster effects, and then Vanity's Fiend to shut down the special summons. Those are the only 4 key cards that I play in the deck. Then we have these guys. 3 each of the Swap Frogs, and 3 each of the Treeborn Frogs. No explanation about those. And only 1 Battle Fader. I mean, like, upon deck testing, bumping this up to 3, like, you should play 3 of the Battle Faders, but upon deck testing, I decided to do 1 just in case for some good measures. But no explanation about Battle Fader, though. Escher, the Frost Vassal, in case they don't know what it does, states that if your opponent controls 2 or more cards in the spell track card zone, you can special summon this card from your hand. And that is pretty much all the monsters. For the spells, Book of Moon, Foolish Burial, and Dark Hole. Two Pot of Duality. I'm okay with just 2. Like, I don't mind bumping the duality to 3, but the good side effect about duality is that, like, my guys don't even special summon themselves out the way. Those, according to the text of Pot of Duality, is that there's no point of special summoning. So I don't mind bumping this up to 3, but I think 2 is okay for me. 1 Soul Exchange. That one soul exchange I once had, it still says it as a magic card. Good old school days. 2 enemy controller. Shouldn't explain those to you. 3 Stormforth. Way too obvious. And then 2 Mystical Space Typhoons. For the traps, it is one bottomless trap hole, compulsory evacuation device, torrential tribute, deck devastation virus. The main reason why deck devastation virus in my main deck, that's because just in case if my Vanity's Fiend gets killed, now's the time for me to activate the virus, just so that the Vanity's Fiend gets tributed, and then check your opponent's hand, all monsters they control, and if I see any of those monsters that are 1500 or less attack, all of those guys are destroyed. Memory loss. It's a tiny little breakthrough skill, but it states that when a face attack position monster your opponent controls just activated it in effect, except during the damage step, negate that effect, and if you do, change that face-up monster to defense. Mirror Force, cause it's a good card. Monarch Erupt, in case they don't know what that one does, activate this card only if you have no cards in your extra deck and control of tribute summon monsters. So, what basically secrets out, I don't play an extra deck for the lock. This card is the skill drain, but only for tribute summon monsters, meaning that everybody's face-up monsters on the field, those effects are negated except tribute summon monsters. Only 1 Fiendish Chain and 2 Dark Bribes, just to negate the destruction and to keep my big guys alive on the field. And as for my side deck, this is getting interesting. Doom Caliber Knights, Dinotherium, a second Soul Exchange, 1 Forbidden Dress, a 3rd MST, and 2 Twisters, just because of that punk ass Masker Restrict. Because at one point in this game, like since game 2 or 3 of every duel I've been through, whenever I see people with Masker Restrict, which is definitely the weakness of my entire deck, so I had to get sight in some cards that has to deal with destruction to get rid of those Masker Restricts. So I'm able to give myself a tribute summon again. 2 Chain of Spells. I really love this card so much. The fact that if I were to play against like a certain Shadal player though, or just like any type of matchup that has to deal with the number of copies that they have in their deck, if they play that certain spell track card that has like the good use for them or was like not the good use for them, I could just have them like destroy the cards they have in their deck and they get sent to the graveyard if they control a number amount of copies. So I decided to side in at 2 Chain of Spells. Second, Deck Devastation Virus. Same explanation about Vanity's Fiend getting killed. 1 Pinpoint Guard. I find Pinpoint Guard to be an okay card as well. The fact that I can just use that on my opponent's turn just to make sure like it's a free special summon, and then I'll be able to tribute summon one of my big guys as of like the next turn or so. The second, Monarch Erupts. And then the MVPs, 3 Rivalry of Warlords. Basically, the rivalries, in my opinion, like the people who I talked to about the Rivalry of Warlords about the other day, is that like while I control my at least like a Vanity's Fiend or a Majesty's Fiend, and just like combo it up with the rivalries out there, it's basically pretty much auto win for myself though. And in that case, for the key cards in my anti-meta build is that like I only have two different types for the main thing, which are Fiends, meaning that Vanities and Majesties, and the Machines, meaning Spell Canceller and Genzo. Like, if you know how to play the deck right, to all anti-meta players out there, is that you could just basically set the two rivalries down, and just in case, like, if your opponent tries to like MST or like Twister or one of them, and then like they're gonna be stuck here throughout their sin for like a few turns though, like Quasar players or like Gladiator Beasts, Boojins. The fact that Rivalry is such a great card, I felt like I'm definitely keeping the 3 rivalries from the side deck just in case things go wrong. And if there's anything I would change in the deck, honestly, I wouldn't change a thing about it though. So without further being said, this is James Polk here, doing a deck profile on Fiend's Lock. And I'll see you all next time. Have a great day.